Hi guys, welcome to another Python 3 tutorial with ExamDebug. I'm Chris McKenna and today we're going to be looking at comments. Now comments don't actually do anything in your code, but they're very, very important. So what we can do is to add a comment, we press Control. We use the pound sign or hashtag, whatever you want to call it is fine. And anything that follows that is going to be ignored by the program. So I can use this to explain perhaps what's going to be going on in the list below. So I can say this creates a list of letters. And here I could add in another one, and I can say appends the new letter to the list. Now, technically Python only has single-line comments, but for multi-line comments, people sometimes use the triple quotation mark as a way. And then that way they can say, maybe like have an introduction to their program. This is a way of having many lines of comment rather than just one. Now, it's kind of, like I said, this is not an official one. This is actually making a string here. So it would actually do something, but we're not doing anything with that string, so it would work. And this is the way people seem to commonly do it. The hashtag, though, is maybe a better one on the whole because it will be properly ignored by the program. So, why do we comment? Well, for many reasons. If you're in school, for example, as a teacher who sometimes has to look at codes, it can be really difficult to see what's going on in a student's work unless they've explained what they were trying to do at that point. If that's clear to me, then I can see what's going on. But once you get past that, or say you're just learning on your own and you're not in school, it's really important to have comments. A, because it helps you understand what you want to do, and more importantly, it's rare once you get to big applications for people to be working alone. In general, you're going to be working in teams of people. You know, you'll have developers, you'll have testers, you'll have people who are using your programs, using your different modules, and putting it all together. And if you've not commented your code, it's going to be much harder for the people on your team. They're going to have to sit down and figure out what you were trying to do, rather than if you'd just taken the time the first time through to put your comments on there so they can see what you're doing. I worked in a programming company for a few years, and yeah, there's teams of, we had more than 100 people working on in the company, just on the code, not to mention all the other people, but programmers and things. And you really need to see what's going on with other people, because people do things in different ways, they have different styles, they have little workarounds, and if you don't have comments, it causes trouble for everyone. So be a nice person, be friendly, put comments in explaining what you're doing, especially if you're doing something unusual, or especially if you're doing something hacky. But on the whole, if you're defining variables, what's the point in it? If you're performing some task or you're making a function, what does it do and why, perhaps? Okay, great. So very short one today, but very, very important. If you're one of my students, I do expect you to be using comments, so please make sure you comment all your work. Just go back, practice. Maybe you can add in an introduction to one of your programs that you've made so far, and maybe go through it and put in comments. I find this to be a really good way to help me learn. When I'm learning stuff, if I comment and I say what I'm trying to do, sometimes I realize I'm not entirely clear what something does in Python, and I have to go back and say, okay, what does it actually do? What am I doing at this point in time? So I'll try and be good as well. I'll try and put in comments when I'm doing the codes also. Okay, thanks very much. Please subscribe, and any questions, ask below.